Jackson to call you? I want him to call me Gigi. That would be short and sweet. Okay. Ask Emily, Jackson's mom. I want him to call Mommy. Makes sense. Then we ask Pascal. So what name, how do you want Jackson to call you? I want him to call me Uncle. Of course. And then my decision was pretty simple. I want him to say Paul. I said, hey, that's short and sweet, easy to say, right? I'll win the competition. Wrong. Then we asked Monique. Monique sat back and she thought, Aunt Monique. Now, I don't think you'll say that one first. So she decided with the name Bert. So therefore, we're going to share a story about Aunt Bert. Okay? When Aunt Bert was about 8 years old, I was building a deck in the back of our house. We had a hot tub and I had built a deck. And it was time to put the roof on it. Okay? So Saturday morning, I get up. And they had delivered a nice pile of wood, about this tall. Felt great, right? And I put on my tool belt, and I climb the ladder, and I take my measuring tape, and I measure up there, and I figure out the angle, right? Then I go back down, I get 2 pieces of new wood, and I put them on the saw, and I go to cut them. I cut them. I go back up there to put them together, and guess what? They didn't fit. All right. So I put them on this pile. You knew, I knew you did. So I went and I did it again. I went up and I measured, took the angle, went back down, I cut it. How did you know that?
A lot of your plans don't work.
All right, no more questions. So this went on. I love you today. This went on till about 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, Monique comes out of the house. Now remember, she's about 14 years old. She had a little pair of shorts on. She had a book. And she went and walked by me and said, good morning, Dad. And there was nothing good about the morning at that point. Yeah, good morning. And she went and she sat down on a swing. I had built a swing with ropes and put over a big limb that was next to the hot tub. And I had a piece of 2x10 on it. She was sitting on it, reading her book, just swinging. So I kept on working, kept on getting frustrated. I was pissed off. All right, things were not going well. 11 o'clock. I still didn't have 2 pieces of wood together. And you know that pile of wood that was this tall? It was now this tall. And my scrap wood was getting higher and higher and higher. So finally I had enough. Looked at Monique, took my tool belt off, slammed it down, and I told Monique, I can't do this anymore. It's beyond me, I'm frustrated, I can't do it. I'm going in and have lunch, we're not going to have a roof on this thing. So I went in and had grilled cheese and tomato soup. And, how soothing that is. And I come back out, and I thought I'll give it one more try. And so I come out and I climb the ladder, and I take my measurement, my angle, I only had a few pieces left, but I grabbed 2 pieces of wood, and I put them on I go to put them on the saw, and there's a block of scrap wood on the saw. And with my carpenter's pencil, Monique had scribbled in a big letter I, and then a big heart, love, and the letter U. And she had just laid it there. And I picked it up, and I turned around to look at her, and she's nowhere in sight. Well, needless to say, Monique, those 3 words enabled me to finish the roof, and yes, we did have a roof, and to just carry on. So, Jackson, you've been paying attention. What's the moral of the story?
You should have called a contractor.
Yeah, he's right. I probably should have called a contractor. But Jordan, the moral of the story is when you least expect it, when you think Monique's not paying attention, she's just reading her book, or she's enjoying watching your frustration and all, she will be there for you 100% of the time. Because she's been there for all of us, and I know she'll be there for you. But I also know that you'll be there for her. And I've experienced that because, believe it or not, Monique cries. She cries. She cries when she burns a meal. She cries if the meal turns out. I kid you, I've seen you cry, Monique, reading a newspaper. I remember one night, couple of years ago when she was going through law school, 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, I get FaceTime. Where's Grandma? Grandma, FaceTime is when you call and you see face to face. Okay? So we had FaceTime. And it's 11 at night, and there was Monique pops up on the screen, and she has earbuds in that's plugged into her phone. And she's crying softly. I can't do this. And I'm like, Monique, why are you crying so softly? I'm in the library. She didn't want to disturb anyone in the library on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock. So, but anyways, yeah. So, I had met Jordan twice in Grundy when they first met. And you know, the first time you meet your daughter's boyfriend, you kind of have reservations. I did. Let's be honest. I don't know if he's good enough for my daughter. But any dad in this room will know what I'm talking about. You know? So I had met him a couple times, and one weekend they had decided to come to Bowling Green and spend the weekend. So they hopped in Monique's car and they drove down to Bowling Green on Friday night. So we got together and we visited and chatted and everything. Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, I get a call. It's Monique. Guess what she's doing? She's crying. Daddy, we were driving and my car stopped working. I think it's a transmission. What am I gonna do? Monique, crying isn't gonna fix it. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Hop in my truck. I show up where they are. Open my door and out she comes running into my arms, still crying. Daddy, what am I gonna do? I said, well, first thing, we'll stand with Jordan. I'll take a look at it. I know less about cars than I do about building a roof. But I had to clear the part, right? So open up the door, and I stick my head in there, and I remember her saying it was a transmission. So I started fiddling with a stick shift, right? I think it is. And then I look over my shoulder, and I see Monique melting in Jordan's arms, crying. And Jordan is being Jordan. No emotions, just taking it all in. And then I hear him say, Monique, look at me. Crying is like sitting on a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that it was at that precise time that I knew that Jordan was the right person for my daughter. So let's help me join me in congratulating Jordan and Monique.
Did you fix the car?
I had to take it to the shop.
You should have called a contractor. Garage.